Without a culture of positivity in your friend groups, your growth is going to be stifled. You need to have people around you that build you up rather than break you down and compare themselves to you all the time. It's going to make it so that when you are pursuing the things that you find difficult in your life, or the things that you haven't pursued before, you'll have the charisma, the courage to go out and do those things with the support of the people that surround you the most. Now, how do you build this type of culture and creativity in your friend groups? I talk about emotional intelligence all the time in my other vlogs, so if you're interested in that type of stuff, do come by and check me out. The way that you build this is to say to yourself that you don't need to compare yourself to anyone in your friend group, because they're doing the things that they need to do and you're doing the things that you need to do. There are roles in communities, in societies, and in working situations. Everyone has a role, an essential cog in the machine. And you have to realize that if these people didn't specialize in their cog nature, that the machine would not run nearly as efficiently. A friend group, the people that you hang out with, is very much the same way. There are people that say no, there are people that say yes, there are people that come up with ideas, and there are people that are there to glue everything together. There's a variety of different roles on top of that. However, those are the basics. And if you understand your role in your friend group, first and foremost, that will help inform the role of the other people. And you will find that a lot of friend groups that are fairly dysfunctional, perhaps your own, perhaps someone else's that you see, those friend groups do not have the specialization, or they might have too much of one role, or they might have just a general lack of a growth mindset culture, a term coined in graduate school by professors and people that are trying to inspire. But the reality is, you should always have a growth mindset, don't you think? A tree never stops growing. It grows to its maximum potential and then, or it just keeps growing, right? So people, friend groups, they are your nutrition. They are your inspiration. They are the reason that you go about making all this growth and improvement in yourself, because you want to be surrounded by the coolest people and you want to have the most fun. You want to feel the most satisfied in life. So do those things. But make sure that when you're around in a situation where your friends or your family or the people that you spend the most time with are being a little negative, comparing too much, or focusing on what we call relationship conflict. Relationship conflict means that instead of working on the problem at hand, you are more concerned with the character and the personality of the person that you're working with. Now, this is something you need to get over. I strongly suggest ASAP you get over this, because relationship conflict is not going to bring you any sort of peace in your life. I don't care what you're doing. Don't do it. It's trifling. There is task conflict, the alternative, which is significantly more important. That is when two people of different mentalities, different philosophies are working together, they are more focused on getting the task accomplished. And they may disagree on how they approach the task, but they will not dwindle each other's character or personality or motivations for doing the things that they do. Focus on task conflict, not relationship conflict. That's a fundamental rule in any group that you're in. That way you will be the most productive, useful person in that group that you can be. So your friends, okay, fine, they're being a little negative and you're thinking to yourself, dude, I've known these people for a long ass time. How am I supposed to go and make new friends? How am I supposed to go and change these people? Oh my God, this person's like this and they're incredibly difficult to deal with. You don't understand. Calm. You got this. It's easy. It's easy when you start realizing the details, the little things. Why did that person say that to you? Is it out of insecurity or to build you up? Why did that person react that way? It's out of insecurity or to build you up. And it's not to say that you shouldn't surround yourself potentially with some insecure people. Because the reality is some insecure people are incredible artists. Some insecure people are incredible leaders. Insecurity leads you to want to grow. It is to say, however, that you, knowing yourself, knowing whether or not you're an insecure or secure person, you should know that they shouldn't affect you that much. Love the people that are close to you deeply. But I mark my words, keep a little bit of distance. This life, every organism's life on this planet, I have a belief that we live it as individuals. We live it at the end of the day, we go to sleep potentially alone. We wake up in the morning and we are alone. Fine, you might be laying in the bed with someone else, or you might have a family in the house. But the moment that you wake up, the moment that you fall asleep, that is something that you target alone. Okay? So keep a bit of distance between the people that you love, because it's a phenomenal defense mechanism. But it also gives you a chance to not believe that what they're doing has an impact on you somehow, right? If you are so close to someone, if you're attached at the hip, if your heart is one, then whatever they do is what you're doing. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, because there's gonna be times in life where people die. Sorry to get more, but there's gonna be times in life where you break up with someone. There's gonna be times in life where you leave a job that you thought you're gonna have forever and ever, amen. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna fall apart at that moment? No, please don't do that. Pick yourself up and keep going. Keep going. That's what makes life beautiful, don't you think? That's what makes life beautiful. You pick up the pieces and keep going, but your goal has to be big enough. Do you want to be someone that inspires people, someone that moves things forward, initiatives, creates movements for society? Well then, you need to understand how to separate yourself from the mentalities of the people that you've probably known for a long time. Hard to do. Slow steps, incremental steps. What are some steps? Well, first and foremost, meditate. Meditate. Understand thyself. Understand your group and your role in it. Culture forms everything. Every little thing that a group or a company does is informed by its culture. It's the way that it makes you feel. Your feelings are very important. You are human. So value your emotions, value your emotional intelligence, and value the fact, point two, that you can change shit. Right? So your group's been like this for a number of years, and then you see this person, maybe the person that's catalyzing this negativity, or maybe the things that we do are catalyzing this negativity. Okay, change it. You be the person that catalyzes the change. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Difficult to do? Fine. Difficult to put yourself out there? Fine. Difficult to believe that you have the power or the wherewithal to actually tell people what a positive change is. Have a belief in yourself. See something in the system, augment it. Third thing, sometimes it's too far gone. I hate to say it, but cut your losses and run. One of the things that some of the most successful people struggle with is our emotions as humans. Cut your losses and run. You understand? There is so much. There is so much to see in this beautiful world. What do you think? That if you lose something, you're gonna lose everything? Look around. When you're depressed, when you're deeply depressed, when you're heartbroken, when things have changed out of your understanding, sit around and notice the beauty in life, and it'll bring you back. I make these videos every day. My goal is to inspire humans to build their emotional intelligence and to make them realize, and myself realize, that we actually can make a change in our lives. So, like, comment, subscribe, maybe share it. I'm trying to get this to be a little bigger than most people's imagination. So let's do it together, shall we? Happy 4th of July.